So it's been a few years since I did a video out here at the bin site. You may recall in a previous video I had a time lapse of us building this 23,000 bushel Conrad American bin last summer, or actually last fall, September last fall. ACN Grain out of River Falls, Wisconsin, we bought the bin from, and they came up and put it up for us. Here's 20,000 we installed in, I want to say, I think that was 2014 or 2015. This year, this is our wet bin. Currently, it's a 15-foot diameter, 7-ring tall bin. We have 3 additional rings to install on it this year. It'll bring it up to about a 33,800 bushel wet bin, which will work really well. Gives us a little more storage. So this year we splurged and we installed this concrete here where the grain dryer goes, so we won't be slopping around in the mud and all the fines of the grain. It'd be a lot easier to sweep up, and also we had to well, we didn't have to, but we purchased a newer grain dryer. We moved away from our Farm Fans AB12B, which is an automatic batch, which was great. It was great for the size we were, but we picked up a few more acres, and it started to become the bottleneck on our corn harvest. So we found a Farm Fans CFAB 270 continuous flow dryer, which we plan on running in continuous flow. This concrete you see here, and the dryer sits over there, and we also purchased a Farm Fans air system. So here in the next week or so, we're going to be installing the air system. It's going to go to the 20,000 bushel Butler, the 23,000 bushel Conrad, and then this 11,000 bushel Conrad. And you can see there's a pretty good size bin pad here. We happened to cross a good deal on a 42-foot 9-ring Butler used through the ACN Grain in River Falls. He had it, and we purchased it from him. He's coming up hopefully in this coming week, 3rd week of September, I believe, and we're gonna have a time lapse of that baby going up. So we're gonna have in the last 2 years, significantly more grain storage. We went from 11,000 bushel up to, or not 11,000, excuse me, 31,000 bushel of corn storage up to somewhere close to 96,000. So we tripled in storage once this bin's in place. We're also working here on the bean side of things. I got another one of these 5,000 bushel Butlers we have. When we first started in 2011, we happened across a deal for 4 of these 21-foot Butlers, package deal. We bought all 4. The third one down there on the far right, that's a Lindsay that we came across. So we have 2 more of these Butlers sitting in the shed. So this year, one of them's get put up. So we'll have 20,000 bushel of soybean storage, which it's been a pretty good year for our crops. We had a little dry spell, but for the most part, I expect all of these bean bins to be full and all the corn bins to be full. So you can kind of see some other piles of dirt. We had to do some significant dirt work out here to make this happen. The old driveway used to come through here where I'm standing and looped right through where that pad is. So when we had to pick up the whole driveway, and then we moved it out beyond where the new grain bin is going to go, and dug out all the gunky clay and laid in some decent fill, and then we had it top dressed with class 5 gravel. So yeah, hopefully next week we're going to see a big tin can going up here. So we'll get a time lapse of that and some video of everything else going on in here. Hopefully we see a tin can going up here, and that little baby getting a little bit taller. We'll tack some more video of as these bins progress here in the next week or so, and then probably do a separate video of us working on this air system. See you later. Thanks for watching.